Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Hello, dear friends. Welcome to the Daily Prayer Program. I'm your host, Daniel Peon. I'm truly happy to be here with you, my friends, in this beautiful Monday, in this beautiful week we are starting. So thank you for joining me. And well, I have to tell you that the text I selected this weekend, it's short one. I think this prayer is going to be a little bit shorter, but I think it's really interesting to remind us about 10 beautiful points brought us by Luiz. So hello, Sol Souza. Before I start, let us together join in a small prayer so we can tune in with higher spirits and also start to get in the mood of this beautiful week we have ahead. So I'll put some music for us. I'll put some Hello, Narciso, welcome. So let's join together. And closing our eyes if you can. Let's ask our Mother, Father God for blessing this beautiful week for us. In a deep gratitude we all have for all that God have been doing to this planet and to us in particular, bring us health, bring us joy of living, and giving us the strength to surpass all the hurdles we already have been surpassing through all many lives, including this one. So thank you so much, God. And also, let us thank our guardian angels and mentors and spirit friends who are always in our ears, who are always giving us some advice and leading us to this path more aligned with God's laws. For these workers that do not have a rest and work 24/7 in our behalf, we are truly thankful for everything you do. And we are hopeful that one day we can also be of help to others as you are to us. And with this gratitude in mind, we would like to expand this to André Luiz, Chico Xavier, and Emmanuel, and any other spirits who are all aligned with Spiritism, bringing this view, this expanded view in Christianity, which brings us so much consoling and help us see how beautiful it is, the justice of God and the amazing and wonderful immortal path that we are towards God. And now, finalizing this praise, we would like to ask the permission and the protection of God to start this small prayer of today. And so be it. Great. My friends, so Beth Cruz, hello. And also hello for everyone who see this later on or I cannot see right now. And I'm so thrilled that we are all in this boat together, trying to be this small light and also have this small, I would say, advice from our mentors, from the other dimension, who are always with us. So this excerpt that I've always mentioned to you before, it's called Health and Balance. And it's always in the theme of the pandemic, which are in some countries getting better, some others getting worse, some others getting again worse, but it's still there in the world. And with that comes a lot of problems and also a lot of things we could do, right? Because when God enlightens those, we have to surpass them. If it is a passing of someone, if it is an illness ourselves, if it is a mental problem, if it is violence, whatever is the problem, we must try to better solve it in a spiritism terms. So there are 10 tips that André Luiz brought us through Chico Xavier in the chapter 17 of the book Passos da Vida, which means life steps. And I found in the issue 45 of the Spiritist Magazine that says that to ensure health and balance, promise yourself. So it starts like that. And we go through the 10 promises we can do. The first one, to stand under God's designs every day through prayer and to maintain a clear conscience, preserving yourself against ideas of guilt. So the first one is this. So I think it's so important, and that's why it's the first one, because as we get aware of spiritism and we start to also get some maturity and see what we have done in this life, we start to imagine, wow, what I should have done, what I have done in previous lives. That's probably gonna be much worse what I've done in this life, right? So we probably, my friends, have done through all this, all possible sins, all possible mistakes, and unfortunately, right? But now we are here. Now we are learning, and now that we learn, we must try to apply the commandment of forgiveness, right? So we know that we should forgive 7 times 70, right? So always forgive others, but also never forget to forgive ourselves. And that's the hard part, right? So maybe it's easier to forget to forgive others as it is with loving others and not loving ourselves. So it's the same practice goes into here. So we must forgive ourselves first. So I recommend us all to start with this, myself too, to try to forgive for the wrongdoings we have done and let them in the past and understand that now I know better. And because now I know better, I understand that at that time I thought that that'll be good, that'll be right, or even if I didn't find it that would right and I did it still, well, I understand I was not mature enough. Now I am, and I forgive that person from the past. I forgive what I've done, and now I'm ready to construct. I'm ready to do the good with a clear conscience, understanding that. So I think we must struggle. We have to struggle to tie out these knots, right? So we must have this clear conscience. That's the first one. So starting with that. So let's try this week, okay? When you have your time, think about wrongdoings and try to clear your conscience and get away of these ideas of guilt based on this new tip from André Luiz. And number two, give the best of yourself in all that you do. So I think here in this one, I like to remember the idea of honoring God, right? So I like or I try to do my best in honor to God who created me. So why I would not do it, right? So if God did it, this beautiful body, right? Everything functioning, and why I wouldn't do something as much as as I can. So this also remind me about the time that is a passage from Jesus in the Home. Time is the divine amulet. Is a talisman, luck charm. We all have. And so if you don't use your time in a proper manner, right? So if you don't give your best for yourself in this reincarnation, this life, you're just wasting it. So let's try to always remember that too. So the first one, to clear our conscience, forgive ourselves, and try to take the most of our time while we are here and do the best as we can. Third, keep heart and mind, attitude and word, acts and manners in the constant inspiration of the good, right? So this goes with the motto of SSVA, right? So seek the good, visualize the good, mold the good. So we always have to strive to go to do the good. That's one thing, and that goes as the test says in everything: heart and mind, attitude and word. And this also makes me remember about coherence, right? So if we are praying here, we are all here, right? Trying to improve ourselves, trying to improve a little bit the wavelength, this syntony, this tuning in with all the creatures. Why wouldn't we also be coherent in our attitudes, right? So always seek the good first and try to be coherent. Fourth, serve others disinterestedly, without interest, as much as your strength allows. So this one here is understandable also for me, as I see that there is this part of the merit of your charity, the merit of your goodness, your willingness to do the good. So we were thought that if you receive the recognition here, the last recognition is going to be for you in afterlife, right? Because there is always this balance. If there is no recognition for you here, no worries, because God is always just. So I think I like to think to myself that it's better that persons don't recognize me, whatever I do, for the good, because I know that God is just. And if persons say, "Yeah, thank you so much," I say, "No, don't thank me," right? So we have to serve others without interest. We have to serve others because we believe that we are brothers and sisters and believe in this love, in this that we are all a big family. And we don't do interest when we serve our family, right? When we do something for our mother or our kids, we don't do that. So we should act accordingly. Again, the coherence, right, with others. Fifth, rejoice in the happiness to others. Here it comes. Who wants to be happy alone, right? So it's very important that we take this happiness that we see in others and don't and move away from envy, right? Because sometimes, oh, no, hey, come on, I want everybody to be happy. I want them to be happy. So just a reminder here from Andre Luiz. I think that's a really good one. So we take this view and always remember who wants to be happy alone, right? And six, forget negative conversations and opinions that you have heard or read. Here, I know it's hard there's two conceptions here. First is about slander, right? So you hear something and you, oh, I can't believe that. This we know it's a practice that we should never go with that. So we should seek harmony, right? That's the first thing. But there's a second one. If his negative conversations and opinions are about you, what do you do? Well, one thing I do, and I like to try to remember, is where I am, where we are. We are on this planet of trials and expiations. So most of of us are all criminals. We are all in this passaging of getting better, right? So we must remember that it's not like we're going to receive only applause, right? It's normal to receive, some negativity or opinions that, doesn't go the way you think. And so just take it easy, right? So remember about that, bless, and go on. 7, add at least a little more joy and hope to every person with whom you are in contact. Very good from Andre Luiz again. Add at least a little more joy and hope to every person with whom you are in contact. So we remember that we should not never kill hope, right? So never kill, right? As a commandment. And never kill not only animals and persons or living beings, but also hope and joy. So we should never kill the hope. So let's try to do the opposite, right? So smile more. So why to save all these smiles to our friends? Let's smile more to others. Do tips, right? Not just advice, but also tips, financial tips, right? So we can um, bring not only smiles but also financial support and advices too as well. And these positive conversations all the time, anytime you can, bring the positivity up, right? We know we are on this low level because of the pandemic. Make it hopeful, make it positive. That's I think something we are good folks about, because we are Christians. We believe in in uh, in the continuity of life. So we can bring a lot of hope with this word, with this concept that Spiritist brings us, and all the consoling that also brings us. Again, let's continue. We are finishing. Number 8, admire the noble qualities of those with whom you live, encouraging them to develop them. So the noble qualities, right? So it's common also that the persons we live with, we don't focus so much in this acknowledgement and praise. We normally focus on constructive feedback. So we want what you want them to change, right? What I want them to change, and we know that sometimes it's like this, but we must work on and not focus on that, not focus on this part, because, well, it's not much about what they should change, but what we could change, right? And we're gonna talk this about later. But what are their qualities that you are not telling them about? Um, I also remember there was some study from the human resource department saying that for a long time we have been trying to focus on our problems and our things that we miss, and not so much in the qualities we already have. So we try to balance everything. However, the persons who try to strive for their qualities, they can develop so much. They can, I would say, they can go to to places in their development that they would never reach if they try to level everything. So this is a psychological human resources more talk. But what I'm saying here is, okay, let them know about their good qualities, because then they could try to, well, first, because it's a very good thing to do, positivity again, but also because they can further develop these qualities. And so they don't focus so much in the things they have to improve. So admire the noble qualities of those who you live, encourage them to develop them. The 8th tip from Andre Luiz. The ninth is forget reasons of complaint, whatever they may be. That's a good one, because, well, um, we, we know that there's so much, I would say, not problems, but hurdles, I would say, that our brothers and sisters pass on, right? So it's so easy to find cases that, some of our brothers and sisters would be, fated to be sad, and they're happy. So sometimes we are sad and we are complaining about some small things, while some others are. What are you saying? If I was in your condition, I would never complain about life, because my condition in my life is so much worse. So we start to see perspectives, and I say, wow, why there's so much complaint, right? We have everything we need. When we compare our lives with, centuries ago or even decades ago, many things are improving, right? And data is showing that. But still, sometimes from time to time, we get in reasons for complaining, right? We could be this person with this condition, this terrible condition. If be social or be disease or educational, whatever is the complaining. However, Spiritism is a very key on that, because it brings this idea of eternal improvement and justice, right? So we know that it's just a blink of an eye in an eternal lifetime. That brings us another perspective and makes us see that we shouldn't be complaining at all in the conditions they are, whatever they may be. And the last one, my friends, just to finish, is number 10. Live working and studying, acting and constructing in your inner refinement. Well, sorry about that. Not sure if you can still hear me, but my computer logged off. But I'm back. If you cannot hear me, let me know. I think you can. I will get back. Live working and studying, acting, constructing in your inner refinement and the inner correction in such a way that you're able not to find the probable failures and the possible errors of others. So, in a condensed way, if you look inner, you don't look out, right? You start to focus on what you can construct and refine in yourself. And here again, Spiritism hits that key a lot, right? Where to improve the world, we must first focus in improving ourselves. So it is the second time we see something on those terms in this 10 advice from Andre Luiz, right? So I think here it comes also a very good way to say the verse in the book of Matthew. You can see the speck in your friend's eyes, but you don't notice the log in your own eye. So, my friends, this is a very beautiful way to finish up this 10 advice from Andre Luiz. This one is very straightforward, and that's it. I just wanted to have this small this small analysis of this text, and I will finish with a prayer right now. And if you can, please let's join me. Hi, Abhishek, how are you? Yeah, it's sometimes easy forgiving others than forgiving ourselves. You're right. I'll put some music to us because we're gonna have a session in shortly with our friends, 6:30. So take please a deep breath with me and visualizing our Lord Jesus Christ with a heart totally open, arms open, entering our homes, bringing so much light inside our rooms with his beautiful gaze. He's inviting us to join him and holding his hand, we start to fly in a very calmly, flying away from our homes toward the sky, visualizing all these buildings in our cities. And with the touch of Jesus, we start to see the buildings which have some magnetic forces which are misaligned with the whole earth. We see dark lights, we see pain, we can see the hospitals, we can see people living on the streets, and all this pollution, smoking, floating around these buildings, but also light trying to balance those wavelengths of light. And as we see this, we start to think about it. All our brothers and sisters who are in need right now. Think about them with me, my friends. Think about of those who are in pain right now, who need protection, who need hope. And as we think about them, Jesus, in his powerful energy and merciful hands, brings this light towards all these persons, all our brothers and sisters in need. And this light starts to spread between the buildings, vanishing these dark energies, cleansing neighbors, states, countries, bringing bridges of light as the world starts to beam in this beautiful new light of regeneration. And as we see all this happening, we praise God, we thank Jesus, and we thank all our friends, spiritual friends, who are in this battle, in this constructive effort, so we can, sooner than later, achieve status of regeneration on this planet. And with all this grateful in our hearts, we kindly ask for your protection this week and the permission to end this prayer moment of today. And so be it. Okay, my friends, thank you so much for being with me. I hope we start this week very well, and I wish you all a very blessed day. Bye bye. See you later.